Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jennifer Jobson from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm so excited that we're going to be doing this 2020 business planning strategy session with you all. I thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself, and I want you to be able to honor that. So one of the things that I'm going to ask you to do is mute your phone, possibly even turn your phone off. Imagine that, so that you really can focus, because I want you guys to be able to take this information and really let it sink in for you and not let this be just another Zoom. So I'm going to ask you to do that with your telephone, and if you can, make sure that you mute out your Zoom line as well, so we don't have any background noise that can get in the way. So just go ahead and you can move around your mouse and you can hit mute. Just tap it, tap out mute in your bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So I hope that you guys all enjoyed a beautiful, blessed Christmas, and we have a fantastic new year ahead for all of us. I love seeing all of your faces as I look around, and I just appreciate the fact that you are interested in building your business this year and really focusing on not just, I don't want to say money-making activities, because today's session is going to be way bigger than that. This is about really designing your life. So I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is consciously scripting your life. I want you to write that down. Write that down. Consciously scripting your life. Because there's so many people that go into a new year saying they want things, feeling they want these things, but you know, whether it's to lose weight, a better body, more money in your bank account, it's all wonderful to say those things and to feel those things and to desire those things, but what are you doing about consciously scripting it out? And I think for many people, that's where they begin to kind of stumble. I don't want to say fail, but that's where they begin to stumble and visions get lost, and things that you had hoped on for yourself begin to fall away. Anna, please mute out your line. Anna, Faith, please mute out your line. Thank you, sweetie. Appreciate that. So what does it mean to consciously script your life? Okay, if you think about the words consciously, it's thoughtful and there's effort in it. And if you think about scripting, the word scripting, what does that speak to you? And again, I really want you to think about these things. Don't just let me talk. What does scripting mean? Think about when a director or somebody who's writing a movie, how they script it out. They look at the different stages, the different phases within a movie, the story that they're trying to tell. And this is what I want you to think about for 2020. How do you consciously want to script out 2020 for yourself? If that resonates with you, please put something in the chat box. And also, because I don't really see the chat box, raise your hand if that resonates with you, to consciously script out what you want 2020 to look like. Good, good. So in order to do that, we have a system. And again, this is a system that I have used for many years, and I always do it between December and January the 1st. It's my chance to reflect on where I've been, what I've accomplished for this year, and where I want to go. And a big part of this is to know that you need to give yourself props for everything that you did in 2019, in the current year that you're in. Because you know, our hopes are that each year we progress in whatever areas we want to, and that we're better off than we are the year before. So I want you to encourage you guys to really give yourself props for all that you've accomplished in 2019. And if you're watching this on replay and you're with our company, we've gone through a lot, but we've come out on top, right? And if you are watching this live, you know what you've done for this year, and you also know what you haven't done for this year, and you can take that information and help you to consciously script out how you want 2020 to look. Because again, when you see a target, you hit a target. You think of an architectural planner, somebody who creates these beautiful buildings, who creates skyscrapers. It all starts with a vision in their brain, and then they have to consciously script it out, right? They start getting the pen and the pencil to the paper, and they start sketching it out. And if it doesn't work out quite well, they're willing to erase it and kind of, if you would, swing the pendulum in another direction and continue on until they're able to really script out or draw out that beautiful skyscraper. And that's how I want you to look at the end of every year, looking forward to the beginning of a new year, that you have that ability to consciously script out, erase what needs to be erased, focus on new things, or maybe continue to focus on things that are working for you and moving forward, okay? So there's 3 parts to consciously scripting out a business plan, or what I consider really a life plan. And the first part is the design. It's the vision. It's the game plan. And we're going to kind of work through, as I said, this is going to be a working Zoom. We're going to work through each of these 3 parts together. And this is where you can unmute yourself when we get to those parts and begin to share with other people, okay? So that's part 1, is the design. It's the vision. It's the game plan. So write that down. Number 2 are habits. You know, a couple of weeks ago, I shared on one of our team Zooms that one of my kind of goals, my new goal, is to really work on getting my customers to have a habit of using the products, because we kind of all agreed that we have customers who are like, the gel doesn't work, or the KG4 doesn't work, and we are like, how many times are you using it? Oh, well, you know, I forget to use it. So one of my goals is to help my customers create the habit of using our products. So the same thing applies for us, is we have to create habits based around our conscious scripting for what we want 2020 to look like. And this is basically, if you're going to put what the habit is, it's really your daily action steps. So that's number 2, the habits, the daily action steps. And then part 3 of consciously scripting what you want your game plan to be for 2020 is the follow through, okay? And the follow up and the tweaking. So if something's not working, be like a football player. Be ready to juke and go in another direction. Don't think just because you have something written down, or maybe it's working for other people, why is it not working for me? It might not resonate with your spirit. It might not resonate with how you roll and how your brain functions and how your brain thinks. You know, what I love about our leadership is we all do things a little bit different, yet we all have the same goal that we're working for in building our business. You know, I'm not exactly like Jackie. Jackie's not like me. I'm not exactly like Rachel. Rachel's not like me. I'm not exactly like Kelly Duncan Smith, and all that stuff, right? And so be willing to be authentic to who you are, but still using the tools to get to that same result. So does everybody understand that? By a raise of hand? Yeah, okay. All right, so those are the 3 parts. And now let's talk about the areas. So obviously we know business is one of the areas. So there are 4 areas that I'm going to give you: business, spiritual, personal, and then, believe it or not, a 30, 60, 90 day. Okay, so each one of those categories is kind of going to have a 30, 60, 90 day, but those are the 4 areas that we're going to look at to apply the design, the habit, and the follow through. Okay, and then within those, we're going to look at activities we want to keep. So maybe something's working for you right now. Maybe it's part of your branding and you're doing something and you're like, yeah, this vibes with me. This is getting me going where I want to be. I'm really seeing results from doing this. Then those are things you obviously are going to keep, because you've got a good habit you've already built. It's working for you. So you're going to stay on track, because at the end of every year, it's not like you're wiping out the fresh. Star, please mute. It's not like you're going to just wipe out everything fresh and new and start all over again, right? So if there's things that you know work for you and you've got them really good in a system for yourself, you're going to keep those, all right? And then the second part is the activity to add. So that's going to go back to the habits. So things that maybe you've seen other people do and you're like, I really want to do that. And maybe you have an idea that maybe you want to start doing more lives and you haven't been up to this point. So this is where that would go into that category, okay? So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to look at, we're going to start with business, and we're going to look at activities we want to keep. So I'm going to go ahead and change out my screen for myself, and I want you to write out, and I'm going to also pull up the chat. I want you guys to write out what activities do you currently do that are working for you. And I want you to write those down as part of your game plan. And I'm going to do the same thing because this is literally what I was going to do today, and I thought I would share it with you all. So again, what activities are working really well for you?
You mean within our gel business, correct?
Yes, this is business category. Yeah, business categories. Yeah, because we're going to cover the other personal, because we know that personal development is a huge part, but let's just kind of do the easy logistics, because honestly, the business, in my opinion, is the easy part. So what things do you want to keep? And actually, go ahead and start doing that. And then I'm going to have you share a few. Really think, what have you been doing this year that you're like, this is really working for me? Attracting people. I'm going to give us a little binaural beats to help you think by. I'm going to give you some ideas to get your juices flowing too. Daily posting in your testimonial pages. If you're doing that, that would be something you probably want to keep, right? I also do weekly Connect calls and Zooms with my personally enrolled team, and some that I have adopted as well. So that could be an idea. All right, I'm going to give you about 30 more seconds on this. Okay, done. All right, so I want everybody to go ahead and unmute yourself, and I would like you to share one or two things. Obviously be courteous if someone's talking, just jump in though, and I'm just going to do this for just about a minute. So go ahead. What are some things that you're doing in your business that you're going to continue to do?
I'll go. I have a mastermind with several of my leaders, and we meet once a week. And I find that that has been very, very beneficial in many ways. And that is something that I will continue to keep up. Absolutely.
I like that. Okay. Now, I will say, as people are talking, if they drop an idea and you're like, ooh, I like that, that needs to go into the category of activity to add. So if it catches your eye and it resonates with you, then that needs to go in that other category. All right, go ahead.
And the other thing is is daily recording of my numbers, going into the back office first thing in the morning. And this is new. I just started to do this because of you, Jennifer. And I go in every morning now. I've got a new book, and I write in my left volume, my right volume, my 5-week rolling, my 5-week rolling on the right and the left, how many active I have, how many on the left, and how many on the right. I think that's all I write in. And what level I'm at currently, and how many people I have in my binary tree on the left and on the right, and how many new in the last 30 days do I have distributors and customers in the organization.
Yeah, I like that, because you're right. You know what? The shepherd knows the status of his sheep. I
You
like
don't know
that.
your numbers, you don't have a business.
That's right. That's right. Who else?
Just doing lives on your personal page attracts people that are looking into your personality and what they resonate with you, and that attracts them to come back, and they will eventually, if they haven't before seen your business, you know, what you have to offer them, your lives will attract them, whether they're about your business or preferably even if they're not about your business or just about everyday topics that they can, like I said, resonate with. It's highly visible.
I like it. Very good. So lives, weekly or daily?
If you can do them daily, that's even better.
Yeah.
You know, just or every other day, whatever. Just if you get those lives in, they will be attracted to you. And I need to do more because I noticed business was different when I had people relating with me.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Jen, I have something new. Jen, I have something new I've been doing lately. I started going through my birthdays, and instead of actually sending a message on Facebook, I send a private message. So I'll do a normal Facebook message, but then I do a separate IM message to that individual. And by doing that, I've noticed more people, you know, it kind of jogs their memory and like, oh yeah, that's who you are. And then they check your profile out and they just kind of start scrolling. And then that changes the algorithms as well, because then you start that communication with that person again.
That's good. That's good. Great tip. Great tip.
Everybody in the last couple of months versus just my normal crew, right? My normal friends. I do it with everybody now. So
good. I love it. All right, so what we're going to do is move on because I do want to keep this going. If you have ideas that you would like to share, please put them in the chat box. And Jackie, I'm going to have you help me kind of filter through any questions or anything like that. So please, again, share because we're all better together. So these are activities, again, that you want to keep, that you're doing, you have found them productive, you keep them in your business strategy, right? All right, so the next thing that we want to talk about, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the music again, is activity that you would like to add. And again, maybe you've seen other people do something and you've been like, oh, I gotta get to this, I gotta get to that. Now's the time. This is time to write it down as part of your business strategy. All right, so here we go. Next category is activity to add for your business. Mute out your lines and I'm gonna give you back your music. Okay, keep on writing. So I'm going to give you some ideas, and you guys have written out some great ideas here. I like that Heather put post planner to schedule posts. That's a brilliant idea. That's going to be what I'm going to add as well. Be Live, I'm going to be setting up my account because Facebook has taken the dual lives away from me, and that was really working well for me. So Be Live is a free system that you can do dual lives again. I started, but I'm going to really go full board into my thank you cards for every customer. And then I am going to create a check-in text schedule. I talked about this at one of the last trainings that I participated in with you guys. And like some of the text messages that I send out, I'm actually going to create a schedule of exactly what I need to text out, so I can copy and paste and be able to know that Susie Q, I signed her up on such and such date. She gets this text here, this text a week later, this text a week later. Okay. Let me go ahead and give you guys some time now to look over in the group chat, accumulate any information that you like, add it to your ad, and then go ahead and unmute yourself if you would like to share what are you going to be adding of activity-wise for your business category for 2020, part of your business plan.
For customers, for your customers, right?
Yes, a text schedule for my customers, yes. Yeah. I am very analytical. I'm very systems oriented because, you know, systems duplicate, people don't. So if you have a system and you have a rock star that's doing it, you can have a system that a non-rock star, if you would, could do the same thing and become a rock star. So yeah.
So Jen, you and I went over the welcome letters and welcome letters to customers and DTs. But I also want to create different emails as well, like the product update. Well, I guess you really can't really create those ahead of time because you don't know what your product update is going to be when you. But also just continual checkup. You know, well, like the text you're talking about, but also in emails, just to create all the different touches. I want to create a system of different touches to just go out and deliver without thinking about it every single time.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I like it. And I like, don't forget too, I'm working on, I'm almost ready to release the unit on customer retention. And I don't want to go into details because I want this to be on our business plan, but retention is where it's at.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much.
All right. Who else would like to share, please? And please share.
I think one of the other things that I want to do more of that I think really is good, whether you do it on Instagram stories or on Facebook stories, show more of what you do with your team, even if it's over Zoom. Show that you have built a community, a culture, that you have fun. Show when you're doing a Zoom coaching one of your team members, or like when I do my weekly mastermind, you know, showing things like that. Like I had Anna over here today and we did a picture and showing the fun that we have so that people see it. They want to be a part of it and they want to find out how can I, you know, especially if they don't have that in their life. I think if we build more of that and do more posting about really having fun in this business, because it is about having fun. We all want to make a lot of money, but it's about having fun. And we can really recruit in a lot of people if you show that via your social media.
Very true.
Can I add something to that?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Christy in Arizona, and our team gets together roughly about once a month, and we volunteer and we go out to dinner together, and they love it. And I show that on Facebook, and we have prospects that come and just hang out with us, and eventually they end up joining our culture, and they love it.
I love that.
Yeah,
So we do feed our starving children. It's a really fun team event because you have to work as a team to pack these boxes, and it's so much fun. Our team loves it so much that we do it on a monthly basis now.
I love that idea. Yeah.
And we call it New You Life Cares.
I love that. And here's the thing, as you're writing these things down, you're going to be like, oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great, right? So I'm going to be, when I do wrap this up, I'm going to be having you pick out three things that you are going to focus on for this quarter. okay? Because this is about building new business habits for yourself as part of your strategy. Who else would like to share before we move on?
Excuse me, Jennifer. One thing that I did a little bit about a month ago, and then of course the holidays kind of messes everything up, at least for me. But adding the groups that aren't necessarily part of the New You Life, but like our Healthy You, adding people to that and to other groups that, you know, kind of more systematically adding people, you know, and making them see us like what, you know, she was just talking about as people, you know, interacting with one another, encouraging one another, and challenging each other, and sharing recipes and stuff like that. So
I like that.
And just so you know, Healthy You is a personal page that I have with my team where we do challenges and educate people. And so it's like our little farm system. It's not a testimonial group. It's different. And so that's what she's taught. And I highly recommend it to everybody, especially as we really launch the keto products. But that's what Healthy You is.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, every day, you know, one of the things that I do that I love sharing is every day I write down 1 through 5, and I guarantee myself that I'm going to at least add 5 people to a testimonial group. And, you know, that's part of something that I'm sticking with because it's worked very well for me. And I usually go for 10 a day, but I guarantee myself 5 ads a day, you know. And again, this is all part of what are you going to do as a habit for 2020 as part of your business strategy, okay? So you have to do, when you're creating these strategies, this is why I said, when you hear all these ideas, I want you to write all these ideas down and look over in the chat. I've picked up some, and then I'm going to say, what are the 3 things I'm going to focus on that I want to build the habit and incorporate it into my business strategy? Okay. Anybody else? Last chance on that one.
I like your lists that you gave us, the idea for creating different lists, prospect list, customer list, your team even list, you know, and so because then you're able to, which I love, I thought this was ingenious when you said that we could post on our personal pages to that group, you know, so I never even thought of that before. I just think that's so smart because you don't have to go far. You can just go right to your own page, create your post about your product and say the product name, and the rest of the people don't see it, just that group. And I love that. I thought that was big.
Yeah.
I need
Thank you. So yeah, could you type that into the chat box, because it might be a technique that resonates with people, is creating those Facebook lists. Very, very good. Okay, and I'm just kind of scrolling through here. You guys are awesome. Again, please share any of your content that you're writing down in the chat box so that people can begin to go through and take a look. Okay, so we've got the design, so the game plan. We just talked about ideas on what we want to keep and what we want to add in, okay? Now, the daily habits of these actions. So once you pick your 3, you want to be able to really create the habit. And so let me just, as a trainer, let me just kind of give you, I love telling stories. I always say stories tell the story. And in Pilates, we're trained as, you know, to really tell the story so people can connect in their body what needs to be happening. And so that's a habit that I've created that I just use in every area of my life. So, you know, if you are a person that wanted, say one of your personal goals was to lose 20 pounds, okay? That's your goal, but then you have to create the habit. Like, the goal isn't going to happen unless you have an action step, and then those action steps have to become habit. So what you do is you kind of almost forget about the 20 pounds. You say, I need to start cooking more at home. I'm going to commit to going to the gym 4 days a week for at least 20 minutes. And I'm going to take a walk with my pooch every morning to get some more steps in, okay? So those are your action steps to reach your 20-pound goal. And then you actually have to start following through. Remember, the 3-part was the design. So you have your vision, your game plan. I want to lose 20 pounds. What are the habits? I want to walk, eat at home more, go to the gym 20 minutes, and then the follow through is actually doing those things. And then that reinforces it becoming a habit, if that makes sense. So this is the strategy for consciously, creating what you want in your life, for scripting your life. Okay. So now let's go into personal development. Okay. So in personal development, I want you to think not just your mind and your spiritual part, because that actually is a whole nother category. I'm really wanting just to teach you the technique on how to do this. But I want you to think of possibly like the 20-pound weight loss situation or whatever. But personal development, we know this about network marketing, that it is one of the best personal development situations that you can be in anywhere, because you are always around people that are open and willing to coach you, that we teach you the things that we know work to build ourselves up. And when you build yourself up, you are creating the habit of really having a better business as well. And I know Jackie could attest to that. So now let's take this same strategy and go through our personal. And I, again, want you to think of personal development, possibly for yourself on a spiritual, emotional level, or just the habits that you and goals that you have for 2020 for yourself, maybe physically. All right. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to start by writing down the word personal. And then what you're going to do is you're going to write down, and we're going to kind of cluster this together, activities that you already do that you want to keep. And then I want you to start right into the next category, which is new activities that you want to add in for 2020, okay? And I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this. So draw a line, write the word personal, activities to keep, activities that you want to add in. And again, be very self-reflective here. Maybe you've seen a good book that somebody posted and you're like, I've been wanting to get that book. Write it down. Now's your time. When we're done with the Zoom, hop on Amazon. I want you to take the action and order those books and whatever it is for your personal. Okay? So here we go. We've got 2 minutes in this category. Okay. So that was a big category because I wanted you to include spiritual, emotional, and with personal. When we're done with this session, my hope is that you break those categories down, because things that you want to accomplish goal-wise for 2020 physically could be a lot, and personally, emotionally, spiritually could be a lot. So my suggestion, because remember, I want you to pick 3 things from each of these categories. My suggestion would be to split the hair and make sure that you give each of those categories its own personal due diligence. I hope that you're just seeing the system that you would use to create and develop plans for yourself. So I'll start out personal, that I'm going to keep. I'm going to continue to do my I am journal every evening. And I continue to fall asleep to my affirmations. I continue to read. I continue to drink a gallon of water. I'm going to continue to go to the gym 4 times a week. What a few of my goals that I want to add in. I want to run a 5K this year. I want to really create a very, very specific morning ritual of deep breathing where I center myself, incorporating reading or listening to personal development, and then closing with prayer. It's been something that I've been wanting to do every single morning. I mean, I pray every day, and I read the Bible every day, and I read every day, but I want a morning ritual that really I design so that my morning doesn't happen to me. So that's kind of one of my Achilles heels. Sometimes my morning happens to me, and I don't want that anymore. So for 2020, that's gone. All right, who else would like to share some ideas? And again, please start typing over in the chat box so that other people can begin to read them and possibly catch their eye, okay? So please share. Remember to unmute yourself.
I'll do a couple. The things that I'm going to keep, walking every day and listening to Abraham Hicks while I do. Journaling daily, consciously creating and writing out my life, deliberately creating with intent, as opposed to having it just happen, because whether or not we intentionally create, it's happening anyway through law of attraction. Raise my vibration every day, which I've been doing, and always seeking the best feeling thought in any situation and seeing only the good in other people. When you get frustrated or you're really struggling, looking at somebody and really seeking in them what is good about them, and only thinking about that will change the way you deal with people in your life. And then stop comparing. This is something that I already do. Stop comparing myself to other people and their tribes, and instead focus and build my own, so that in this business we get caught up with what somebody else has done, and we use it to make ourselves feel less than. And instead of having that happen, you can watch them, and that's, I think somebody put it in there, like follow influencers, and you could see what they did, but use it as a stepping stone to have you propel to create your own, and to understand that everybody gets to have their own. Just like Jen said, I'm not her, she's not me, and we're always going to be different, and we all can build our own tribes and have great success with our own people. And so just use them as guides, and take the good things from them that they've done, and maybe try to recreate a little bit of it in terms of habits, but don't ever let it make you feel less than, because we can all be, do, and have everything we desire.
I love that. I couldn't agree more. Very good.
I have a couple. I already do the water. I drink the water daily. Hot yoga got me into that a long time ago. The deep breathing, I do that. And I've been reading more. But I want to incorporate giving people that I love speaking over them positive affirmations. I did that a couple of times to my kids, and they looked at me like I was crazy. But I explained to them what that really meant and what it does for them. and then they started liking it. So I want to do that daily. Let's see. And a really important one that I haven't been doing that I need to learn is to say no, to prioritize my time, that this time is important, and not shuck, doing your daily tasks or steps to improve your business because somebody, your child says, oh, I need you to babysit. I want to go out, and you feel bad. And it's like, oh, you work all the time, daughter. So, okay, I'll just forget what I'm supposed to do that I told myself I would do, and I'll just watch the kids, and I'm famous for that. So I need to learn to say no and prioritize also what is important to me. So that's pretty big. And definitely the prayer. That's a given, I guess. Most people know that. But yeah, those are two big ones for me.
I like that. And I really can appreciate the putting yourself, like learning to say no. Mm-hmm. That was one of my ahas from 2019 is with being an empty nester. And I'm a yellow personality. I love to help everybody. I have a servant's heart. Yeah. Like it's in my DNA, and learning that it's okay to say no, and that it's okay to put yourself, I don't want to say at the very top of the list always, but self-care is okay. Feeling good about yourself is okay. It doesn't have to be where you're the doormat for everybody, whether it's family or your business partners. It's okay to say no. I like that. Very good, Cindy. That was a great aha moment for me in this year, in 2019. And it was part of my business plan for myself. I don't want to say business plan. It was part of my 2019 plan. I like that. That's a good one. Some of these that are over here, Nancy said that she wanted to block off time for herself, her family, and friends. She wanted to add, stop overthinking things and just do it. I like that because you're right. So many people it's like we can be so micromanaging of our own brain thoughts that we just put the brake on everything. That's fantastic. Tammy Lynn said she likes to wake up an hour earlier in the morning to stretch, meditate, and give thanks. Read personal development or watch personal development videos, and don't touch my mobile phone until I do all of the above first. Holla. There's so many people that's the first thing that they pick up. And I won't even go on my rant on that, okay? My tip to you, Tammy Lynn, was it Tammy Lynn that said that? Yeah, Tammy Lynn is, again, I did that for 2019, is I have a 2-story house. At night, I retire my phone and plug it in downstairs. I never even take it upstairs anymore. That's my system for making myself not, because I would be brushing my teeth and still on my phone. Like I had such an aha, like, what the heck am I doing to myself? But we get like that. So good for you. Be intentional about that. If that's something you choose, I mean, I get it. It's not for everybody, right? But if that's something that you choose, be intentional. Put your phone in a location that you don't retire. Let's see. I know Nicole said not allowing negativity enter my positive self-conscious bubble and mindset. Yeah, that was from 2 years ago for me. I appreciate that very much, Nicole. You have a bubble. It is your job to protect that bubble. And what you allow in, okay, junk in is junk out. Just Google Zig Ziglar on that one. So I like that one. Learning to say no to prioritize my time. I love it. Tammy Lynn says, thank you. Wonderful. You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome, my friend. All right. So this structure, just to review, I'm going to give you the structure again on how to develop a business plan, and then I'm going to give you your to-dos, and then we're going to do a 30, 60, 90-day goal before we wrap this up, okay? Remember this, that you can and should consciously script your life at the end of every year or any time within the year, but that you are the master of how your life goes in the direction. So choose wisely. Choose what comes into your life. Choose what you expose yourself to, whether it be people or movies or music or books. Be choosy. because everything that you're doing, you are pulling into your subconscious mind. Like Cindy said, it's okay to say no. It's okay to build that bubble, like Nicole mentioned, and be very protective, because when you do that, you're going to begin to focus on, and as Jackie shared, you are going to begin to attract those things into your life. If you're wondering why you're in a situation that you're in right now, take a look at what you've allowed into your life. Learn to say no. Learn to say yes to the good things. Because the more that you learn to sometimes say no, the more of the good stuff that can come into your life. So be very conscientious of that. So the 3-part design, or the 3 parts to your business strategy that you should be doing at the beginning or at the end of every year for the beginning new year, is design, number 1. And that's your game plan, your vision. What do you want to see happen in your business? What do you want to see happen in your personal life? What do you want to see yourself happening spiritually? And you can categorize. I would suggest pick like 3. And there's a lucky magic thing with 3s. So I would just suggest pick 3 areas and really focus on them. So that's number 1 is the design. Number 2 is the habits, which are your daily action steps. So again, if you want to lose 20 pounds, you don't focus on the 20 pounds. You focus on the daily actions that you create a habit of. Eating in more often, going for a walk, going to the gym 4 times a week for 20 minutes. And the more specific you can be with each one of these actions that you want to create as a habit, the better. Like you could even break down, I want to eat at home. That would mean, what would that look like? That would mean I would grocery shop more often instead of waiting to the last minute and then saying, oh my God, I don't have anything to eat. Let's order pizza. Okay, so does that make sense for you guys? And again, these tips that I'm giving to you, you apply to each of these categories. And then the third of the 3-part is the follow through. It's the doing it, and it's also the ability to say, you know what, this is not working for me. I need to be able to swing in the opposite direction. So knowing that, like the architect that I described to you, you can erase. And if it's not making you move, like say you have the game plan of, I'm going to start doing more lives, but you pick a time that nobody's watching. It's okay to erase it and then go for something different at a different time, okay? So be willing to navigate and negotiate. It's okay to do that. I like it. Danielle says meal prepping. Yes, absolutely. So those are your 3 parts. And then you're going to take those 3 parts and you're going to apply them to what you wrote down for what you want to see happen in 2020. So remember I said there's the activities that you're going to keep from 2019 and previous years that you know are working for you. That's part of your business plan for 2020, okay? And then you're going to add in activities. What are the new things that you want to add in that maybe you've seen somebody else do and you want to emulate that? Then you're going to break those categories down. You're going to do your 3-part system, because it's a system, the design, the habit, and the follow through for each one of those. Does that make sense? If that does, can you drop an emoji over in the chat box below? I would love that, okay? All right, so I want you to pick out 3 habits per goal. And now let's talk about our 30, 60, 90-day goal. So Jackie and I were talking, I think it was yesterday or maybe the day before, I don't remember, but one of the things I want you to think about specifically for your business here is, what is your 30-day, what is your 60-day, what is your 90-day? And again, guess what? That comes in groups of 3s. So I want you to think about what you want to see happen January through March. I want you to take a moment here and I want you to write January through March, April, May, June, July, August, okay? And I'm going to put the music back on, and I want you to write down business-wise, and again, you would do this with the other categories, but I want to focus on business here for a moment. Where do you want to see yourself with New You Life? I want you to write down specifically a couple of things. I want you to write down what kind of income you would like to see by the end of March. And it floats. My paycheck floats. Jackie could probably attest to that. It can be up here, 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 here. That's normal for our business. But what does that overall money look like for you? I want you to write down what rank you would like to be, because again, you see a target, you hit a target. right? It's going to be part of your roadmap. And I want you to do that for your 30, 60, and 90 day. And I am going to give you 1 minute. Go ahead. If you would be so kind to yourself, be very specific and say, by March the 30th, I am. It would be March the 31st. Obviously, 30 days would be, the 30 day would be January. Also consider what volume, what volume it takes for each of those ranks. You need to write that out. If you don't, you need to print out your compensation plan. Okay. Our time is up here. So I'm not going to be the first to share, and I surely would love to hear from anybody else. Some of the people that have been quiet, I want you to do yourself a favor and speak up. Maybe you think that I'm shy, I'm quiet. Maybe that should be part of your business strategy for 2020, to take a little bit more initiative and to use the voice that God gave you. So let's hear it. Some 30, 60, 90 day goals. What you got? Now we will open it to anybody.
Okay, I'll talk. Since everybody's been quiet and I've been listening.
I love it, Anna. Thank you.
Thanks. So my goals right now are unclear. One of the things I really need to do is sit down and create a system for myself so I am regularly looking at my back office. I've gotten better at it, but I'm still not good at it by any means. Checking those numbers, looking at my current rank, what I need for the next rank, what I need to do to get to that next rank, how many people do I need to talk to. So for me I wrote down my 30-day goal, and that is to enroll one distributor for the next rank and 2 customers, which to me is a small goal, but it's something to start with. I've got a lot of things going on right now, so this is something that I feel for me is attainable.
Okay.
But then from there, go to the next 30 days, which would be bring me to 60 days. We have Pasadena in a few weeks, so that's going to be a big push. Yeah.
Can I pause with you on this one, Anna,
Yes.
so I can help
Excellent.
you here, honey? So, okay, your goal for enrolling a new distributor, and how many customers did you say?
2.
2. Okay. So that's part 1, the design. That's your vision. Okay. So let's write out a game plan and daily action for part number 2. What would it take you to enroll 2 new customers and an associate? What actions are you going to do?
Well, you know what works best for me is talking to people face to face, or on the phone. You know, I text people and that seems to be okay, or messaging seems to be okay, but something gets lost in the transmission there because there's no emotional connection.
All right, I'm going to make you go deeper. So you're going to talk to people how?
Call them. I like to do, you know, and when I'm out, if there's people that I'm talking to and I feel that, you know, I try to feel people out where they're at, if I can get a conversation going. And when I can, and it's appropriate, I interject the gel.
Okay. So you have a specific plan for that. So when you go out, so my suggestion be to make it more of a daily habit of like making sure you go out. And I like that. You know what I call those, Anna? I call those adult field trips. And what I mean by that is I purposely will make myself go to a coffee house. Like I am an empty nester at this point. I do this full time. I have a Pilates studio in my home. It would be so easy for me to stay stuck in my house all day. If that were my goal, like you, like just to belly with people, I would totally do an adult. Make sure that weekly you do an adult field trip. That you go maybe to some art galleries, that you go to coffee houses, that you, one girl, one time, which I actually am going to write this down now that I thought about it, she would go and sit in fancy hotel lobbies. And Jackie, you might know who I'm talking about. I love that idea. I was like, oh my God, that's so brilliant. Because many of them have where you can buy some coffee, where you can, buy little crumpets or whatever to eat. And go out and you're like in this gorgeous facility with this high, you just start vibrating higher and you're going to connect and meet people. So my suggestion for you is to write down this part of your daily action plan or your weekly action plan, Anna, is to do some adult field trips. That's just what I call it. And make sure.
Just so you know, Jennifer, we're very close to Palm Beach, so we have plenty of those hotels.
Yes, we
do.
Go,
Anna. There you go, Anna.
And that would be fun. I can play the part. Get all dialed up. No.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Anna, thank you for sharing. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Who else? I'll give somebody else an option here. Come on. Listen, you want to rock it, or do you not want to rock it in 2020? I'm just like that. I'm from Jersey, so sometimes I can be a little pushy. Just saying.
I videotaped your, I've mentioned this before, but I've videotaped when you've done 3-way calls with me. And so I want to take those and really listen to the questions that you were asking the prospective people, whether they're customers or possible distributors to be. And that's so important because, I'm famous for saying, oh, you've got that personality. You would just do so well in this. And that's exactly what we're not supposed to say because they're not there yet. It's all about digging and listening and really listening to where they are in their lives and what they want. And I was doing the opposite. I was thinking about just let's sign on the dotted line now. Okay, I know what I'm talking about. You don't know what you want yet. Let's just do this. But if you really get into their heads and really let them come out and say it themselves, it's going to come forth eventually. What they really need and what they want. And then you're going to be able to decipher if they're a customer or if they're a DT. And they might be a customer that will turn into a DT eventually. But either way, they're going to come up with one or the other on their own if you're questioning them. So I have taped you, and I'm going to go over that. And I suggest anybody else do the same thing. Ask permission first. And just really go back and listen and re-listen and see how they're responding to, like when Jen did it with me. And I can hear how she's asking and how they're responding. And it's just really a learning experience. It really is. So that's something big that I need to do now, because if you create that duplication with your people as they sign on, which is what I have not done, but I'm going to do. That's what I'm implementing, is that I told my DTs that, come up with your list. We haven't done it yet, but come up with your list and let's get on 3 ways immediately. So if you can get them to promoter just like that, if they come up with the list and you say, okay, let's get them on the phone right now and let's get it going. So that's part of what I definitely want to implement immediately, because then they know to do the same thing with theirs. So that's pretty cool.
That's good.
That's a big deal.
That's good. I like that. I'm going to ask somebody right now to please type this into the chat box. Consciously scripting your life, 3 parts: the design, vision, game plan; 2, habits, daily action steps; number 3, follow through, follow up. This is your system for writing out a business plan, a life plan. It works every time. I'm going to be sharing, when I post this recording, I'm also going to share with you guys a YouTube video that will hopefully wrap all of this up in a bow for you guys. Because, when you have a system that you do at the end of every year, you're going to grow in your business and you're going to grow personally. But knowing that you can take this system, this 3-part system for consciously scripting your life, your business, your health goals, whatever you want to fill in the blank there. The system works, but you just have to work the system. You have to have, number 1, the design, the vision, the game plan. Number 2, you have to have those daily action steps written out and exactly what you're going to do for I want to get to life coach. And you have to make those a habit, because it's not good if it's just for January. And then the last part is that follow through, that follow up, and being able to shift when you have to shift it. So once this gets typed up by whoever's going to type it up, I'm just trusting that somebody is a leader and takes the leadership. Again, consciously scripting your life is 3 parts: the design, which is the vision, the game plan; number 2, the habits, are your daily action steps; and number 3, the follow through, follow up. You can copy and paste this and apply this to anything, and you now have a strategic way to plan growth in it. Thank you. Somebody is. Nancy says, Jennifer, did you post your letters, text, follow-up message you spoke about previously? No, I have not. I'm going to be putting it in a unit. I've developed the unit, and I have not posted the unit yet, but it will be the unit called customer retention, because, that would be a great thing to implement for your game plan for 2020. Consciously scripting your life. Thank you. All right. Well, guys, I am going to wrap this up. Jackie, do you have anything left to say?
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's so helpful. A lot of times we all talk about it. I want to do this. I want to do this. It's the best time of year to do it, but this has made us do it. So you allowing us the time to go ahead and write it, because I can procrastinate just like the next person, but it really matters. It matters when you talk about consciously creating what 2020 is going to look like. And we have the ability to do and have everything that we want and have so much abundance. Just plan it, write it out, journal it, make sure you're clear exactly where you want to go. In the words of Abraham Hicks, ask and it is given. If you ask, the law of attraction will bring it in, as long as you raise your vibration through whatever form that is. It could be meditation, prayer, however you get there. But you got to know where you're going. You got to know what you want, and you have to be clear, crystal clear
Yeah.
on specifics of what you want in your business to be and more than your business, personally, all the areas we talked about. But thank you so much for doing this as a group. I'm so appreciative when we can share this with people. And I do recommend getting together with your personally enrolled leaders and those that you've adopted, and have them at least give you, I'm having mine give me their 30-day goal and their 90-day goal, their first quarter goal, and their annual goal. So I know where their head's at.
Yeah.
And so you know best how to work with them throughout the year. And just know that even though we love every team member that's already on our team, the best people that you can imagine are waiting to come in 2020. They're there waving their hands, just waiting for you to pick them and attract them in.
Mhm.
Thank you, Jennifer.
You're welcome. What a better way to end this. What a better way to end this. Guys, I appreciate you so very, very much. And I'm going to stop the recording. But after I stop the recording, if those that are open, I would love to pray over you. So I'm going to stop the recording now. Thank you guys for joining us. And we hope that you have an amazing 2020.